Yo brawlers, this is your man, Glass Chin, and you're watching Glass Chin's Boxing. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Yo brawlers, so it's been reported that Luis King Kong Ortiz has turned down the opportunity to fight Filip Hrgović in an IBF final eliminator. Hrgović boasts a perfect record of 14 wins from 14 fights. He's been frustrated in his search for an opponent for this final eliminator. He is quickly gaining a rep as the heavyweight division's new boogeyman, with Michael Hunter previously pulling out after purse bids in April last year, and then recently Martin Bakole decided to fight Tony Yoka instead, a fight that has been cancelled due to COVID and travel restrictions. Joseph Parker is now ranked IBF number 2 after his second win over Derek Chisora, and is now favourite to fight Hrgović next. I will do a separate video about Parker vs Hrgović if that fight is ordered by the IBF. Luis Ortiz is apparently injured and unable to take this fight after getting injured in his comeback knockout win over Charles Martin on New Year's Day after getting dropped in the first and fourth rounds, then knocking Martin out in the 6th. I've seen a lot of comments online that Ortiz is ducking this fight and is faking the injury. Ducking is a little strong for me. I think avoiding the fight might be a better term, as if you break it down, what does Ortiz really gain from this fight? The winner won't be getting their world title shot for a minimum year and a half, maybe 2 years, with Usyk and Joshua still yet to schedule their rematch, with the winner then likely to fight Tyson Fury for the undisputed. Fury himself has a mandatory challenger in Dillianwhyte to take care of first, with no signs of how long the arbitration between White and the WBC will take. Once the Fury vs White, Joshua vs Usyk fights are out of the way, the winners will then likely have a 2-fight deal in place, so it really is anybody's guess when the IBF mandatory will be called. Ortiz doesn't have time on his side. He looked every part his 42 years against Martin. He looked like a faded fighter, his legs seemed to be shot, and his punch resistance wasn't there. You have to factor in the money reward too, with Hrgović getting a 60-40 split, and the title shot a couple of years down the line. What reason is there for Ortiz to fight Hrgović? The winning purse bids for Hrgović versus Hunter was only 600,000, with Hunter being number 1 ranked contender, getting 360,000, and Hrgović getting 240,000. Which by no means is chump change, but 240,000 is less than half Ortiz's 500k purse guarantee in his last fight against Charles Martin. After pay-per-view shares, Ortiz is rumoured to have walked away with 1.5 million. You might say it's worth taking the risk, taking the low payday, as a shot against one of the champions once the dust settles could be worth 5 to 10 million, which is possible, but even if Ortiz wins and is made mandatory, there's no guarantee of a big final payday against Fury, Usyk, Joshua or even White, as the last man standing will likely vacate a couple of the belts. Tyson Fury has no love for the IBF after they'd done him dirty last time and stripped him within a fortnight of winning the titles. So if he's the last man standing, I would expect that to be the first belt to go. Does Ortiz want to wait a couple of years, being inactive waiting for his mandatory shot against the undisputed champion, just to end up fighting for a vacant belt against Joe Bloggs? He only has 1 or 2 more fights left in him. If I was alhayman, I'd be looking at pay-per-view versus Andy Ruiz Jr. That fight would likely outsell Martin vs Ortiz by quite some margin with the Mexican market. Ortiz gets a couple of million retirement fund in his back pocket. Ruiz gets backs in the title picture, if Ruiz comes out on top, that is. So there you have it, brawlers. In my opinion, this is more a case of avoiding the fight rather than ducking it. That's being cynical and assuming that the injury is being faked and isn't genuine. If I was Ortiz's management, I'd advise him to take a different route as well, as there's more money and bigger fights out there for him. What do you think, brawlers? Has Ortiz lost his bottle? Did the 2 knockdowns against Martin put the fear in him? Has age caught up to him? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And as always, brawlers, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.